Today, we're counting down 5 greater Seattle neighborhoods and suburban markets that stand out for rental yield potential across Seattle, King County, Pierce County, Snohomish County, and Kitsap County. One name at the very top may catch a lot of people completely off guard. When people talk about rental yield around Seattle, the conversation often starts with one simple tension. Purchase prices are high in the core, but renter demand spreads far beyond downtown. So, for this countdown, we're looking at places where the relationship between entry price, access, walkability, employment connections, and everyday amenities can create stronger rent-to-cost potential. This is not just about chasing the lowest home price, and it is not just about picking the busiest urban center. The best rental yield plays tend to sit where renters have practical reasons to stay, while investors are not paying the steepest acquisition costs in the region. Another key point: we're zooming out beyond Seattle city limits. The greater Seattle area is connected by job centers, ferries, ports, airports, military and industrial employment, commuter corridors, and regional transit links. That means a suburb or nearby city can sometimes compete very strongly with a more famous Seattle neighborhood, when the goal is yield rather than prestige. With that investor strategy in mind, let's count down from number 5 to number 1. Number 5, Tukwila. Tukwila sits immediately south of Seattle, and its location is a big reason it earns a place here. It has a median home price around $592,318 per Zillow and Redfin in 2026, and a walk score of 68, according to WalkScore in 2026. For rental yield thinking, that combination matters. The purchase price is below many closer-in Seattle neighborhoods, while the location still connects renters to airport area employment, South Center area shopping, and major regional routes. Tukwila's appeal from an investor lens is really about practicality. It is not trying to be a glossy postcard version of Seattle. It works because people can reach jobs, services, retail, and transit connections without being deep inside the highest-priced parts of the city. For rental yield, that can be a strong setup. A more manageable acquisition cost, plus access to a large employment base around SeaTac, logistics, hospitality, retail, and nearby industrial corridors. It comes in at number 5 because the numbers and location are strong, but the top 4 bring even sharper rent-to-price potential. Number 4, Everett. About 25 miles north of Seattle, Everett is the county seat of Snohomish County and one of the major cities in the Puget Sound region. It has a median home price around $562,035 per Zillow and Redfin in 2026, and a walk score of 95, according to WalkScore in 2026. That walkability number is a major part of why Everett ranks so well for rental yield, because renters often value access to daily needs, restaurants, services, waterfront areas, and transportation without needing every trip to be a long drive. Everett also has multiple demand anchors that help strengthen the rental case. There is job center proximity, ferry access, transit options, and a downtown core that gives the city more than just a bedroom community role. From an investor standpoint, Everett's moderate price point, compared with many Seattle-side markets, can create a better rent-to-cost balance, especially when paired with strong walkability and regional employment access. It lands at number 4 because it brings a well-rounded profile, lower cost entry than the city core, plus enough urban structure to support steady rental interest. Number 3, Lakewood. Lakewood is in Pierce County, and it moves us farther south into a market where acquisition costs are meaningfully lower than much of the Seattle side conversation. The median home price is around $486,629 per Zillow and Redfin in 2026, and the walk score is 85, according to WalkScore in 2026. For a rental yield countdown, that is a notable pairing, a lower purchase price base than many regional options, while still keeping solid access to everyday errands, dining, and services. Lakewood's strength is that it gives investors a more cost-conscious entry point without giving up basic convenience. Renters can connect with local shopping corridors, neighborhood services, restaurants, parks, and nearby employment nodes across Pierce County. It is also part of the broader South Sound rental picture, where Tacoma, Joint Base Lewis-McChord area activity, and regional job patterns all influence demand. Lakewood takes the number 3 spot because its pricing creates room for stronger yield math, while the walkability and day-to-day access keep it from being only a low-cost play. Before we get to the top 2, this is where the countdown starts to separate itself. Tukwila, Everett, and Lakewood each have a clear investment argument, but the final 2 bring especially strong combinations of lower entry price, urban function, and renter access. Rental yield is always about the relationship between what you pay and what the property can reasonably generate. And these last 2 markets make that relationship particularly interesting. One is a well-known self-sound heavyweight, and the other is the surprise at number 1. Number 2, Tacoma. Tacoma is a port city on Puget Sound, roughly 30 miles from Seattle and Olympia, and it sits about 58 miles northwest of Mount Rainier National Park. It has a median home price around $432,175 per Zillow and Redfin in 2026, and a walk score of 84, according to Walk Score in 2026. Those figures make Tacoma one of the strongest rental yield plays in the greater Seattle region, because its price point is much lower than many Seattle area neighborhoods, while still offering major city infrastructure. Tacoma's rental yield case is broader than just the sticker price. The city has a port, a downtown, colleges, medical centers, arts venues, waterfront districts, and employment spread across multiple sectors. That variety can help rental demand come from more than one source, which is useful when evaluating long-term holding strategy. Tacoma lands at number 2 because it checks several boxes at once: comparatively low acquisition cost for the region, a strong walkability profile, a recognizable urban identity, and a broad employment base that supports rental activity. And now, number 1, Bremerton. Bremerton is in Kitsap County and is the largest city on the Kitsap Peninsula, with a population of 43,505 at the 2020 census and an estimated 44,122 in 2021. It has a median home price around $396,676 per Zillow and Redfin in 2026, and a walk score of 80, according to Walk Score in 2026. That is the key reason Bremerton rises to the top. It pairs the lowest preferred entry price with walkable amenities and ferry access. Bremerton's investor story is different from the others because water and ferry connectivity play such a central role. Instead of competing head-to-head with Seattle's highest-priced neighborhoods, it offers a separate Puget Sound living pattern tied to the Kitsap Peninsula, naval and maritime employment, downtown services, and ferry movement across the region. For rental yield potential, that combination is powerful. A lower acquisition cost, a functioning local center, walkable amenities, and transportation links that give renters options. Bremerton takes number 1 because the rent-to-cost setup is especially strong. And yes, that top spot is the one that may surprise people who only look inside Seattle city limits. So, to recap, number 5 was Tukwila, with its south of Seattle location and airport area access. Number 4 was Everett, bringing strong walkability and Snohomish County employment connections. Number 3 was Lakewood, with a lower acquisition price profile and practical day-to-day access. Number 2 was Tacoma, a major South Sound city with port activity, walkable districts, and one of the strongest regional value equations. And number 1 was Bremerton, where the lower entry price, ferry access, and walkable local amenities create the most interesting rental yield case. The big takeaway is that rental yield around Seattle often gets more interesting once you stop looking only at the city's most recognizable neighborhoods. The suburbs and nearby cities can bring a different balance of cost, access, and renter utility, and that balance is exactly what can make the investment math work better. What did we miss? Which Seattle area neighborhood, suburb, or specific local pocket would have made your top 5 for rental yield? If you would have ranked Tacoma first, pushed Everett higher, or added another place entirely, drop your pick and your reasoning. If this breakdown helped you think about the market in a new way, give the video a like and subscribe for more Seattle neighborhood deep dives. And tell us what you want next. Another rental yield ranking, a neighborhood by neighborhood price comparison, or a closer look at one specific part of the greater Seattle area.